Lyndon LaRouche, a biography. Lyndon Hermyle LaRouche Jr., 1922-2019, was a controversial American political activist, economist, and perennial presidential candidate whose ideas and influence left an indelible mark on the spheres of politics, economics, and public policy. Born on September 8, 1922, in Rochester, New Hampshire, LaRouche was raised in a middle-class family that valued education and intellectual pursuit. His early life experiences and academic pursuits at Northeastern University and the U.S. Army during World War II would later shape his expansive worldview, leading him to explore radical political theories, the nature of economic growth, and the future of civilization itself. LaRouche's political career began in earnest during the 1970s when he founded the National Caucus of Labor Committees, NCLC, an organization that sought to unite labor unions and leftist intellectuals around his critiques of U.S. economic policies and their perceived failures. LaRouche's entry into the political arena was marked by a deep commitment to what he termed physical economy, a belief that genuine wealth comes from the productive capabilities of a nation and that the improvement of the standard of living should be a primary goal of government. He became known for his unconventional policy proposals, which combined elements of classical economics, anti-free market sentiment, and an insistence on the strategic role of science and technology. Throughout his life, LaRouche ran for the presidency of the United States several times, notably in the elections of 1976, 1980, 1984, 1988, 1992, and 2004. His campaigns, characterized by a blend of populism and complex theories of economics and history, were often marginalized by the mainstream media, but attracted a devoted following. Supporters hailed him as a visionary thinker who challenged the prevailing doctrines of economic liberalism and globalization, while detractors dismissed him as a fringe figure marked by conspiracy theories and radical rhetoric. One of the cornerstones of LaRouche's ideology was his critique of the financial system. He viewed the post-World War II Bretton Woods system as a flawed construct that ultimately served the interests of banking elites rather than the common citizen. His theories posited that the financial structures of the world were fundamentally at odds with real economic development, which he understood as a process driven by technological advancement, infrastructure development, and improvements in the population's scientific and creative capacities. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, LaRouche's ideas evolved, addressing various international crises, including the Cold War, the rise of globalism, and the implications of financial deregulation. He promoted a more interventionist approach to foreign policy that emphasized cooperation among sovereign nations, particularly through programs like the Strategic Defense Initiative and economic partnerships for development in underprivileged areas. His vision for a new world economic order sought to counteract the dislocating effects of globalization and the rise of neoliberal economic policies. LaRouche's movement was not without controversy. He faced significant criticism and legal challenges throughout his career. In 1988, he was convicted of conspiracy to defraud and served 5 years in prison. Critics accused him of running a cult-like organization with authoritarian practices and of espousing conspiracy theories, including his allegations regarding the British monarchy's influence over world affairs. Nonetheless, his followers continued to champion his legacy, asserting that mainstream political discourse often ignored the profound insights he offered about the intersections of economics, governance, and human development. Despite his polarizing nature, LaRouche's influence persisted into the 21st century. His followers continued to promote his ideas and engage in public activism, criticizing the prevailing economic status quo and advocating for what they viewed as necessary reforms to avert economic collapse and societal decline. LaRouche's vision encompassed a wide array of global challenges, including climate change, poverty, and the potential for human advancement through technological and scientific breakthroughs. LaRouche's legacy extends beyond the political sphere. His fascination with the arts, science, and classical music shaped his approach to culture and education. He consistently advocated for a revival of classical education as a means to develop the creative potential of individuals and society as a whole. He believed that a society's cultural health was intimately tied to its economic and political robustness, positioning education as a transformative tool for future generations. In his later years, LaRouche continued to write and speak on a variety of issues, maintaining his trademark worldview and critiques of contemporary politics. He also emphasized the importance of youth involvement in shaping policies that would secure a brighter future for humanity. His writings, often dense and filled with historical references and complex models, continued to attract attention from scholars, activists, and political thinkers. Lyndon LaRouche passed away on February 12, 2019, at the age of 96. His death marked the end of an era for a movement that, despite its controversies and criticisms, had been a fixture in American political discourse for over 4 decades. In many ways, LaRouche exemplified the complexities of American political life, balancing radical proposals with the practical realities of governance, while forging a legacy that would inspire both fervent supporters and staunch opposition. His life and work invite a nuanced examination of the intersection between theory and practice, ideology and action, and the transformative potential of human endeavor. While his numerous political campaigns might not have resulted in electoral success, LaRouche left behind a body of thought and a community dedicated to exploring and implementing ideas about economic sovereignty, technological advancement, and a cooperative international order. Those who study his life today grapple with the broader implications of his legacy and the continued relevance of his critiques in a rapidly changing world. Despite the controversies surrounding him, LaRouche's commitment to his principles and ideas reflects a broader struggle in the American political landscape. A struggle between established economic doctrines and alternative visions for the future. As the 21st century progresses, many of the issues he championed remain at the forefront of political discourse, raising questions about the very nature of economic systems, the role of government, and the pursuit of human progress. Whether viewed as a visionary thinker, a misunderstood genius, or a controversial figure, Lyndon LaRouche's life and work undeniably continue to inspire debate and reflection on the nature of politics, economics, and the potential for societal transformation.